welcome back to another video on my channel. Today's video is going to be about the time that my driving test got terminated after just 7 minutes. So yeah, if you want to find out what happened and how it even got to that stage, then just keep watching. I don't think it's going to be a very long video because the whole test lasted 7 minutes. So yeah, keep watching to find out. Okay, so this happened back in like 2011 or 2010 when I was 17, and I just got my driving like provisional license, and I'd been taking a bunch of driving lessons. So my next door neighbor was actually a BSM driving instructor, and he gave me a good price, so I took a bunch of lessons with him. I'd already done my theory by this point, so I'd passed my theory, and I thought, okay, now that I've done my theory, let me take lessons and prepare for the actual test. So I was doing like 1-2 hour lesson a week for a couple of months. I think I started my lessons in like November when I turned 17. So I'd been doing my lessons up until May is when I had my test booked. So I had my test booked for like 6th of May or 9th of May, something like that. And yeah, I'd been taking weekly lessons up until then. So my instructor thought I was ready in like March time. He was like, okay, we'll look to book your test in a couple of months because I think you'll be fine. And I don't know if any of you guys live around Erith area. So the Erith Test Centre, if any of you know it, is where I had my first driving test. And those of you who know, as soon as you come out of the test centre, the little retail park area, there's a major roundabout. So that's how, and then there's like a bunch of other major roundabouts. So that's how that test centre is laid out. So come May 6th or 9th, whatever it was the day of my driving test. My test was at like 11 a.m. It was like in the mid-morning time, and it was raining and it was kind of gloomy that day. And I had my hour driving lesson leading up to it, and then we headed over to the test centre, and I filled out the paperwork, read the little, you know, registration plate that they ask you to read, tyre pressure, blah, blah, blah. There's a few questions that they ask you before you actually get into the car. So when I sat down to do my driving test, I opted to not have my instructor there with me. So I just said, no, I'll be fine just by myself with the examiner. The examiner was like an older woman. She must have been in like her 60s. I don't know. She seemed really old to me anyway. I was 17, so to me I thought she was in her like 50s or something like that, or even 60s. And she was very strict as well. She seemed like in a bad mood. So we got in the car together, and she basically said to me, right, we're going to start off your test with the independent drive section of the test. So basically, I want you to follow the road signs to Thamesmead, is what she told me. And I was like, okay, sure, yeah, that's fine. So I came out of the test centre, took a right, and there was like a mini roundabout, and it was an empty roundabout. So I just went round right on the roundabout, and then I approached the first major roundabout. When I tell you major, I mean like huge roundabout with like 3 lanes. Yeah, 3 lanes on each like entrance into the roundabout. So I basically had to go right on the roundabout, and I'd already failed my test at this point. When I'd approached this roundabout, I stopped past the line because it's a major roundabout. It had the lines where you're meant to wait. I stopped past, so automatically I obviously failed. But I mean, she knew it and I knew it, but she told me to carry on anyway. So I was like, oh great, okay, amazing start. I've already failed. I just left the test centre and I flipping failed. Like within the first 2 minutes, I failed the test. But whatever, fine, I'll power through. So I started following the signs. I took a right on the first roundabout, which led me to the next roundabout. So there was a board, like the signboard thingies, which told me that my exit to Thamesmead was the 3rd exit on this roundabout. So I was like, right, 3rd exit. As soon as I got onto the roundabout, however, I panicked. And you know how on some exits of the roundabout, it has the little signpost saying, I don't know, Erith or Crayford or whatever area you are, it shows that sign on the exit so you can see it. So I panicked and I started looking for the sign for Thamesmead, because the first 2 exits had their little sign, whereas the third exit towards Thamesmead, which is where I needed to go, didn't have a sign. So I panicked and I went around the roundabout again. So I'd already done a full circle past my exit because I thought, where is my exit? I don't see signs for Thamesmead. My exit can't be here then. So then I went round. Bear in mind, it was pissing it down with rain, like it was proper raining hardcore. So then I'm coming around the roundabout for like the second time, and the examiner's like, no, you can't go fast on a roundabout. Like, why are you going around again? Take your exit and go. So I was like, right, okay, I'll slow down then. So then I went to slow down on the roundabout, and then she was like, no, you're braking too hard. You can't brake like this on a roundabout. Just turn around and go back to the test centre. Oh, and that was it. Basically, in a nutshell, test was done. And so then I was like, I freaked out, obviously, and I was like, okay. And then I just drove back to the test centre, like went round the roundabout, got back off where I came on from, and then just went to back to the test centre. And it's so funny what she made me do as well. She made me, as soon as I got back to the first major roundabout that I'd left the test centre from, she made me pull up right there. Bear in mind, it must have been a 15-minute walk, like straight down to the end of this retail park, then left all the way down to the centre. Walking wise, it's probably 15-minute walk along just to get back into the test centre. She didn't let me drive back to the test centre. As soon as I crossed the roundabout, she's like, just pull over here. It's fine. I'm gonna walk. And I was just like, oh God. And it was raining as well. And she was like, yeah, no, I'm gonna walk. You just pull over and you wait here. I'll go get your instructor. Just sit here. You've obviously failed. Yes, so I'm gonna go. And then she left me in the car. She took her paperwork and she walked all the way 15 minutes in the rain, and I just sat there in the car and I was like, do I laugh? Do I cry? Like, what just happened? It's all over, like, it's done. It's only like 10 past 11 and my test started like 10 minutes ago, and I'm sat here waiting and it's over, and I've horrifically failed. Not even just, oh, one major that I stopped over the crossing or the line for the roundabout and the rest of my test went amazing. It was just that one mistake, could have been nerves. No, I failed straight away within the first 2 minutes. Then I can't go around the roundabout fast, I can't go around the roundabout slow, so I have to go back to the test centre and my test is done, just like that. So yeah, I waited in the car. I just sat there on my phone. I was just like, do I laugh, do I cry? I don't really know what just happened. It all happened so fast. So I waited, I probably waited altogether about, I don't know, half an hour, because obviously it took her 15 minutes to walk into the test centre. Then she must have obviously told my instructor. And then I waited for him to come back to me to the car. He also had to walk to me in the rain. So then he came back to the car, he sat down next to me and he's like, what happened? Like, how does that happen? Like, what even happened? And I was like, I really don't know. I just don't know. I don't know what the hell happened. And then he was like, do you want me to drive on the route back? I was like, yeah, please. I think I'm done with the driving for the day. So yeah, that is how my driving test got terminated after just 7 minutes. Although the woman was really rude, I have to say. Like, she could have been nicer about it. I wasn't actually going that fast when I was going around the roundabout for the second time. It was not that fast. Like, I drive now, so I know that wasn't fast. And then when she told me to slow down, obviously I'm gonna hit the brakes to slow down, but she was reacting as if I'd come to a standstill in the middle of the roundabout. That's not what I did. I slowed down, but maybe a bit harsh because it was in the rain or whatever, I don't know. She was an old woman and she was a cranky woman. And yeah, she just was just like, no, I'm not having it, just go back. It's not happening. Not happening for you today. So I was just like, oh, that's that then. And then I kind of avoided taking my test again for like another 1.5 years. And then I had to take it like proper last minute before my theory ran out, because I was about to go on holiday and stuff. And the second time I actually passed with only 3 minors. So that first time is not a reflection of how I drive or anything like that. It was just unfortunate, I feel like. And I think I must have been more nervous than I thought I was. I thought I was calm, I thought I was fine. But like in the rain as well, it's like, it was a gloomy, dark day. It was really rainy. It was 11 a.m, but it felt like 8 p.m. in the evening. It was really dark and gloomy. And yeah, that is what happened, guys. I hope you found this video entertaining, to say the least. And yeah, so I'm not one of those people that passed their driving test on the first go. I passed on my second go, but I don't mind, because when I did pass, I did pretty decent. Yeah, if you guys have any bad experiences with driving in general, or your test or your lessons or anything like that, then let me know in the comments below, because I would love to hear it. I also have another story time about this one instructor that I had for a few weeks when I was taking my test for the second time, and how weird he was. He was literally so creepy and predatorial almost, looking back. So yeah, if you want to hear that story time, then let me know in the comments below, and I'll tell you guys what happened with that instructor, because it's genuinely so weird. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, then be sure to leave it a massive like. Apologies that it was a really short one, but the whole thing was over within 7 minutes, so there wasn't even that much for me to tell you guys. But yeah, leave me a little comment below if you've ever gone through a weird driving experience, and let me know if you want to hear the story about my creepy driving instructor. And yeah, other than that, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I think that's it. So I will catch you guys on my next video. Bye. 2020 minus 6, 2013, no.